Hey, Monday, December the 2nd, 2024. Looking at shoeless Joe Jackson's career, his box scores, his accomplishments. Played from 1908 to 1920. We know the story Black Sox scandal 1919. The team threw the World Series. Joe Jackson was part of it. I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on this guy's, I would say, pretty good career. 1,332 games. He gets 1,772 hits and has a career batting average 356. That's significant. That's like number 3 all time. Ty Cobb 366, Roger Hornsby 358, and you got Joe Jackson. Now he didn't play as much as Cobb and Hornsby. Cobb had over 3,000 games. Can you imagine that? 366 over 3,000 games. Incredible. And Roger Hornsby had about 2,200 games, 358. So that's a good measure. I think to measure one's batting average, you should have at least 2,000 or more games. Jackson didn't. He had 1,332. So I've been looking at his box scores, and I've covered from 1908 to 1914. He's had really 3 or 4 great years already in the span. I mean, 1911, he bats 408 with 233 hits. Then he comes back the following year and bats 395. You got to say, that's significant in baseball history. And he's playing almost every day in these 2 seasons. Then he came back in 1913 and batted 373. What a 3-year period. 408, 395, 373. 1914, he dips down to 338, but that's still pretty good. So this video, 1915, what does he do? Well, he gets traded during this year. He's playing for the Cleveland Naps. Then he gets traded to Chicago White Sox. Too bad. If he had stayed with Cleveland, maybe he would have finished his career with Cleveland and not been involved in that World Series scandal of 1919. Well, he's playing now. So he played about, 83 games for Cleveland. Then he played 45 more for Chicago White Sox, 1915. How did he do? 128 games, 461 at bats, 63 runs scored, 142 hits. Now, this is a guy that's had 200-hit seasons. So not as productive. 20 doubles, 14 triples, 5 homers, 81 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, 52 walks. Does manage to bat 308. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row over 300 with one season. One of those seasons being 408. 385 on base, 445 slugging, 205 total bases. Okay. So 1915, he's 27. Now he's playing for the Chicago White Sox. Let's see how he does for the rest of these years from 1915 through 1920. Let's see how he does. And I'll devote a video to each year. And then we're going to analyze. Right after I'm done with the 1920 season, he gets banished from the league and he's kicked out. Judge Landis says, "You're guilty." Even though a court found all the 8 White Sox players who were involved in the scandal of 1919, a jury of his peers found them innocent, all 8 of them. They all celebrated. He came back, played 1920, but Judge Landis, who was the commissioner of the baseball league at that time, said, "Nope, you 8 guys are out. You threw the World Series, you collected money, you're out. Can't play baseball ever again." And Joe Jackson, that's the legacy he has. He was a good player, but he was involved in that stupid scandal. Just play ball, guys. Money will do that. They wanted the extra money. Joe Jackson admitted he took $5,000 It was under his pillow. He admitted that. And his wife said, "Why'd you do that?" And he goes, "I don't know." Remember the kid? They say Jackson was on his way to the ballpark during the negotiations, or during all the allegations of the scandal. The small kid comes up to him and said, "Say it ain't so, Joe." Jackson looked at him, turned his face, walked away. Joe Jackson. What could have been on his career? 356 career batting average. That's why I'm looking at him. All right, next video, 1916. I'm out.